November 13, 1922. Public Health Precedent. The 1922 Supreme Court decision in Zucht v. King stands as a clear example of how American courts addressed the balance between individual preference and established public health authority. The case emerged from a dispute in San Antonio, Texas, where city officials required proof of smallpox vaccination for students who sought enrollment in public and private schools. When the family of Rosalind Zucht contested this rule, their challenge raised a direct question about whether a city could lawfully condition school attendance on vaccination compliance. The Supreme Court considered this question against a backdrop of long-standing public health measures designed to control smallpox, a disease that had repeatedly caused major outbreaks in the United States during the 19th and early 20th centuries. City leaders in San Antonio implemented vaccination rules after consulting their charter powers and state health regulations. They directed schools to deny admission to any student who lacked a valid vaccination certificate, a policy consistent with practices adopted in other jurisdictions across the country. Rosalind Zucht was denied entry because her family refused vaccination. Through legal counsel, the family argued that the ordinances violated due process and equal protection under the 14th Amendment. They claimed that the rules provided excessive discretion to local officials and operated as an arbitrary barrier to education. The case first passed through the Texas court system before reaching the Supreme Court of the United States. Justice Louis Brandeis delivered the unanimous opinion of the court on November 13, 1922. The court affirmed that municipal authorities could enforce vaccination rules as a condition for school attendance. The decision relied in part on the earlier 1905 ruling in Jacobson v. Massachusetts, which established that states possess the power to enforce vaccination during epidemics. In Zucht v. King, the court clarified that this power did not require the immediate presence of an outbreak. Instead, the ruling recognized that vaccination requirements could operate as preventive public health measures. Justice Brandeis explained that the city's ordinances were valid expressions of its police power. He stated that the family's argument about arbitrary authority lacked merit because the ordinances reflected a general public health standard rather than a targeted or discriminatory act. The court concluded that a city could set conditions for admission to schools if those conditions advanced public health goals and fit within legal authority granted by state law. The decision emphasized that the 14th Amendment did not prohibit municipalities from implementing reasonable health regulations. The ruling confirmed that school vaccination policies held firm constitutional ground when supported by state statutes or local charters. Many states looked to this decision when reviewing their own health codes. Public officials recognized that the opinion reinforced their ability to act before a disease spread widely. This preventive approach reflected the general practice supported by health departments during the Progressive Era, when cities sought to limit mortality through sanitation programs, quarantine regulations, and vaccine distribution. Zucht v. King also marked a significant moment in the evolution of public health administration. By upholding municipal authority, the court demonstrated that constitutional rights could accommodate public health safeguards without diminishing fundamental protections. The ruling fit within a larger pattern of judicial decisions that affirmed states' ability to establish standards in schools, workplaces, and other public spaces. Courts across the country cited the decision when reviewing challenges to health-based regulations, including later cases involving school immunization requirements for diseases such as diphtheria and measles. The decision did not create new constitutional doctrine, but instead strengthened the foundation for existing public health policies. Local governments could continue to implement vaccination programs confident that their measures did not conflict with federal constitutional standards. Public health boards and school administrators found a clear judicial statement that their regulations served a legitimate public purpose. As a result, states adopted more comprehensive immunization laws throughout the 20th century. These laws played a key role in reducing outbreaks and strengthening disease control infrastructure. Historical records show that the Zucht family's challenge reflected ongoing public debate about vaccination in the early 20th century. At that time, concerns about vaccine safety, personal belief, and government authority frequently appeared in courts and legislatures. The Supreme Court's opinion addressed these concerns by pointing to an established line of precedent and affirming that vaccination policies did not operate as discriminatory or unreasonable acts. This clarification influenced municipal officials, legislators, and health professionals who sought to maintain school safety through preventive measures. The 1922 decision continues to hold historical significance because it demonstrates how the judiciary supported science-based public health policy within constitutional boundaries. Its reasoning informs later cases that examine the scope of state power during public health emergencies. By affirming that cities could enforce vaccination rules without evidence of immediate crisis, the court confirmed that prevention formed a central part of public health authority in American law. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.